The upstate of South Carolina is one of the fastest growing parts in the entire country, especially Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville is known for its beautiful main street, its robust economy, and its abundance of green space. But all this growth that Greenville is seeing can't all be a good thing, right? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about just that. Let's get into it. As always, my friends, my name is Will Sawyer, your friend in real estate here in the upstate of South Carolina. And it's our goal at this channel that we are your #1 resource for all the things that you need to know about the upstate of South Carolina and specifically Greenville. So if you like this video, do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up on the video and leave us a comment in the comments. We would love to meet you in the comments. So first things first, let's talk about development that's going on around Greenville. Well, all the time in my local Facebook group called Living in Greenville, South Carolina, which you could join, we hear locals say, "Don't move here." Well, these are people that have been born and raised here. They've lived here for 50 plus years. They've seen Greenville become what it is today from being the textile capital of the world, from a ghost town, and then what it is today. These folks remember when you didn't go across the bridge on Main Street at night, when Five Forks was a literal crossroads, when Woodruff Road was just a simple 2-lane highway. Greenville has changed a ton for them, especially in the last 5 to 10 years. A lot of this change started when Michelin in the 1990s announced its US headquarters would be coming to Greenville, and then BMW followed quickly after that. And in recent years, we've seen a plethora of small businesses and other industries come into Greenville and plant their roots here. So a lot of folks have at the top of their mind, what is the county doing to keep up with the demand that Greenville faces and make sure that development is progressing in a responsible and sensible way? For instance, one of the posts that I posted recently was just acknowledging that in many of these newer communities, a lot of these communities are not connected by sidewalks. So when we talk about walkability on the channel, it's somewhat limiting because within these new communities, as far as walkability goes, your walkability is really going to be within the community itself, not necessarily walking out of your community down the road and into another community. A lot of new residents kind of see this as a shock that all of these newer communities are kind of isolated within themselves versus being interconnected like many of the communities in these larger metros where these folks are coming from are. Another thing that we hear folks complain about would be a lot of the development coming along 2-lane roads. So Greenville has not been a big metro for an extended period of time, and really just outside of the city and kind of on the outskirts of the county, a lot of it is rural. There's 70,000 people that live in the city and a little bit over 500,000 that live in the county. Greenville County is one of the larger counties in the state of South Carolina, so that does cover a big surface area. A lot of this new development, let's say especially on the southern part of the county, in places like just south of Malden, west of Simpsonville, northeast of Piedmont, and then Piedmont itself, a lot of the roads that you're going to be driving down are 2-lane, more rural roads. So traffic at rush hour on roads like Fork Shoals Road or Ashmore Bridge Road, even Butler Road, which are all kind of interconnected there on the southern part of the county, those can get backed up with the influx of newer communities in those areas. So you might be asking yourself, well, what the heck is the county doing to combat this development? On many roads in the county, we are finding that the county is widening these 2-lane roads. Plus, it's now harder than ever to get a building permit here in Greenville County, which has really controlled the pace of growth. The county recognizes that Greenville is in high demand, so they are doing what they can to control that pace of growth in a responsible and sensible fashion. Just a few months ago, the county passed at one of their meetings that all currently unzoned land that is going to be converted into residential lots, if they are unzoned and if septic is going to be required on those lots, those properties have to be at least 1.5 acres, whereas formerly the minimum requirement was just under half an acre. And not everybody agrees with the county's decision on this because this is going to decrease density, thereby increasing the costs for developers and in turn putting that on the buyer. And with all of this development, like I just mentioned, of course, there's going to be an increase in traffic also. So in my opinion, new construction is going to command the real estate market for the next 5 to 10 years. And where these new development communities are coming in at, the traffic around those communities, of course, is going to increase. Roads like Woodruff Road, Fairview Road, and Simpsonville, Wadehampton Boulevard that connects Greenville to Greer, 123 that goes from Greenville to Easley, 153 that goes from Interstate 85 up to Easley through the middle of Powdersville, Butler Road in Malden, West Georgia Road, and Simpsonville. The list goes on and on and on. There are going to be increases in traffic, more so than there already have been in the last 5 years. And it is going to be something that the county is going to have to face. And I did mention earlier that the county is focused on widening a lot of these 2-lane roads where these new communities are coming in at. And they just announced a restructuring of Wadehampton Boulevard, where they're going to reduce the amount of lanes from 6 to 4, and they're going to add bike lanes on either side and widen the sidewalks, which is ultimately a good thing. That's going to make it more pedestrian friendly and more bike friendly. So with this demand also comes a greater demand on the county itself to uphold infrastructure, to maintain projects, and to keep our county as beautiful as it is today. Well, how are they going to pay for that? So interestingly enough, last year, for the first time in 30 years, Greenville County decided to raise their property taxes. So for every $100,000 of property value, they have raised that property tax $28. And while Greenville remains one of the more affordable places and probably one of the best value places to live in the entire United States, this did come as a shock to many of the residents. Now, that may not be a huge swing per person at only $28 per $100,000 of property value, but you multiply that by 240,000 owned units of homes here in the county. That's quite a significant jump in cash flow for the county to do these projects that they really need to do. So for all the good that Greenville, South Carolina is, there are some negatives, and I hope that you feel like we plainly laid that out for you. There's a number of things to consider when moving to a different area, and it's not all peaches and sunshine here in Greenville, just like it's not anywhere else in the country. However, in my opinion, I don't think these negatives outweigh the pros of Greenville. Greenville is one of the most desirable places to live in the country for a reason. We have amazing parks, really nice people, really affordable housing relative to the rest of the country. And if you come here and visit Greenville, you're certainly going to fall in love with downtown. You're going to love how easy it is to get from place to place. And you're going to love the general location that it is in the country relative to the beach, relative to the mountains, and relative to 2 big metros like Atlanta and Charlotte. So if you're thinking about moving to Greenville in 2024, please do me a favor, email me at my email below or text me at my cell phone number below. I would love to chat with you about what your relocation to our area could look like for you and possibly your family. Thank you so much. Well, this video is going to be about Greenville County, the upstate of South Carolina. Great thing to do and easily in the evening. I'm a local real estate expert here in the area. All time, we're right behind me is a really cool place called Freight Yard.